Good day. Today we're going to be looking at the NXP Rapid IoT Prototyping Kit. NXP's Rapid IoT Prototyping Kit is a comprehensive, secure, and power-optimized solution designed to accelerate prototyping and development of an IoT end node. Rapid IoT integrates 11 NXP devices: microcontroller, low power connectivity, sensors, NFC, secure element, power management interface, in a small form factor hardware design, and combines it with proven software enablement, drivers, RTOS, middleware, Cloud Connect, and a web IDE with GUI-based programming. Rapid IoT provides the easiest and fastest path for anyone to take their connected thing idea to a proof of concept. Its hardware features. The K64 MCU is based on the ARM Cortex-M4 core. A KW41Z wireless MCU, NT3H2211 NFC form type 2 tag. Also has the A1006 secure authentication and anti-counterfeit IC packed with multiple sensors, for example, gyroscope, accelerometer, barometer, temp, mag, air quality, ambient light, and captive touch sensor. Its software features: Rapid IoT Studio IDE, automatic source code and project generation from MCU expression, IDE, and SDK, iOS as well as Android, mobile apps, and IoT Cloud Connect platforms, expandable to most IoT end node use cases with 400 plus clipboards, and finally it is compatible with NXP's IoT modular gateway. The kit contains the Rapid IoT Prototyping Kit, Quick Start Guide, which contains the SIM tool in the inside. It also has a USB cable and the unit's right there. So let's have a closer look at the unit. Well, the battery is dead, so we'll have to get that charged up here. So we have 4 buttons on the unit, 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as the touch screen and multiple LEDs at the top here. We have the micro USB port on the bottom here, as well as on around the unit here. You'll see these holes here. Those are probably for sensors. Could be some a buzzer in there as well, but I assume it's for humidity and temperature and that kind of stuff. I do believe the light sensor is in the second one here. It also has a dock connector on the back, which I'd probably want to check out further down the road. And this here is the reset button, which you would use that SIM tool for. In the guide, if you acquire it on the NXP website, it will give you tons of information regarding what web browsers and computers will work with the unit, as well as a list of phones that are confirmed to be working as well with it. Since they are a pretty small list, chances are your device will work if it's somewhat a newer device and has Android 6 and up or iOS 11.3 and up. If you don't have an NXP account set up, make sure that you do that before you start to dive into the board, as you will also need to sign into your phone or tablet once you download the NXP Rapid IoT app. Today I'm not going to go into too much detail on the app, as it works as it should. After testing that out, I was surprised with the distance at which it would connect to my phone. This is a great added bonus. As far as the total distance, I still have not tested that out fully, So the Bluetooth connection on this board is by far one of the best I have ever seen. So I was able to take this device basically all over my house, even outside, and the Bluetooth was still connected to my phone, which was right over here. I have a fairly big house, so I was quite surprised with that connection. And then to visualize your rapid IoT data remotely, you need another Android or iOS terminal with the phone app installed, or you can simply use a web browser of your computer. Let's head over to the computer and have a look at the Rapid IoT Studio IDE on the NXP website. Okay, so now we are on the NXP website here. I'll go ahead and I will bring that up for you. What I want you to note right off the bat here is it has a nice little interface here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at it in a bit more depth right now. Just the quick basics of it. You do have on the top here, this is for your studio. You have your dashboard as well as your devices that are connected to it. So the first thing you want to do is, well, you can connect your device to it and test out the demo software that is on there as well. And you'll be able to see the information on your dashboard here. So there's not too much there right at the moment because we don't have anything uploaded. I've removed all of my projects and everything from here. You can save it locally on your computer as well. So that's what I've done with my projects. So the one thing I wanted to show right off the bat was the examples. This is where you're going to actually get a lot of information on just basically how things are laid out and working on your device. I'm going to load up the Rapid IoT weather station on here just so you get a better idea of what is actually happening and how you can program your own program for this unit. And like I said, this is great for those people that are just starting out and want to get into learning how things work. So as you can see here, we have our workflow. So we have the interval, we have all the sensors on there, and then all the different, the ambient light characteristics. And you get the actual workflow of what's going on. And then you can view it in the application here as well. And you can redesign whatever you want as well. So you can change your images and everything on here as well. The background image is the full image there. And then you can go ahead and go to each image and change them if you choose. Or you can remove images as well if you don't want whatever setting on there. And then you do have your cloud layout as well. Now I have to say this is really well thought out, and it definitely gives you appreciation of what is going on and how quick and easy it is to actually get started in this. And you know, if you're okay with doing, let's say, this part here, but you don't know how to, you know, integrate it into your project for an application aspect of it, and that's when you're going to come over here and you're going to learn how to get that set up properly with the example coding. So there's lots of room to be learning on this, which you know, is great because you now get to incorporate all this stuff here into your own projects, and you get a better sense of how things work. So you could even go to the point where you're just doing this stuff here, and you have someone else doing the application design, and then someone doing the cloud. I think it's a great little setup. I love how they've done that. Now when it comes to this, I'm going to show you right now. So right now I'm just going to get my other camera on here. So I just had this charging, and I'm just going to zoom in here just so you can see here. Now you can see it's saying 28 degrees Celsius. I will tell you this, it is nowhere near that temperature in my office right now. And now you can see it slowly going down. But I was charging it, and now I'm not. So it is slowly bringing that temperature down, but it's going to take a long time. So it should probably stop at, you know, above what the actual temperature is in here. So that's one thing that I wanted to kind of show you right away. That's what the one thing that kind of bugs me about this unit is when it's charging, or if it's on for a long duration of time, because there is no on-off switch, it overheats too quickly. So I'm just going to bring over my USB hub here. Alright, so that way I can plug this in here, and I can show you on the computer. Well, it's going to be a little crooked, but whatever. But you'll be able to see what's going on the device here. It's now connected to my computer. What we're going to do is we're going to just upload this to our device. So what we're going to want to do is we are want to let's save it first. Okay. And then we're going to compile the software here. And after we compile it, that's when we'll go ahead and download the file here. So we'll just wait for it to get to the end there. It does take a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. I'll give it that. I have no complaints about that. So a lot of companies are coming out with their own IDE software like this. So if you've used others, you'll probably have no problem with the setup here. It has a nice layout on the side here of all your functions here. You could use the user buttons here as well. You could add those in there for changing your menus. You could do all sorts of fun stuff. Oh, and yeah, there was a buzzer in the unit that I thought there was, one of those little holes there. So now I'm going to go ahead and download that. Downloading it will download the project, but what we want is the program firmware. So we'll go ahead and download that guy there, and then that will be in our downloads here. I'm going to cut that and put it onto the desktop here for a moment here. Now we have our firmware on our desktop here. What we need to do is put the unit into program mode, so that way we can get Windows to accept it as an actual device, so we can drop that into the drive that it's going to be to program it. So I'm just going to go ahead, and to do that, all you're going to do is on the unit, you're going to hold down the left top button and the bottom right button. You're going to hold it down, and eventually it's going to do that, and then it's going to do that, and your computer's going to do its thing there. And now we should have a local drive. There we go. So if we go back to this PC, now we can see that here is the drive, and it's empty at the moment, but that's where we want to put our firmware. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that in there, and you're going to notice on the unit itself in a moment here, after it is done uploading, It's going to have some lights flashing here in a moment, so there we go. So we just got to wait a moment for it to flash away on the unit there. There we go, and this is the process of it programming it. It disconnects on your computer. Now it's going to load up the weather station onto the unit itself. And then you'll be able to connect. Hello, I'm over here. Okay, so after you do that, then you'll be able to connect to your account on your cell phone or tablet or whatever device you want. And then you should be able to view that information on there. And now that we have that, now you can see the temperature is now reading 23.9. It's still not 23.9 degrees in here. And we're able to scroll through the menuing here. And that's it. So that's the simple setup of it. And like I said, the temperature is not correct. The thing about that is on the program itself. Okay, so it does have this guy here, the temperature calibration offset. So I do believe playing with that is actually going to help with correcting the heat from the unit itself, getting that to the temperature that you need. But you need a reliable sensor that is reading whatever area you're in at that time to be able to program that to do what it's supposed to. So I don't know, but that's basically it. And then yeah, so we've uploaded that, our little base weather station there. So the next thing to do would be to go back to the studio. And now you can see here we do have the weather station listed in here as well. We have our options of deleting it or exporting it. And then we can go to new project. And you know, we can name it whatever. And then from here we can go ahead and design everything. It's a nice blank slate. Just to show you here, so we have time, the intervals that it's going to be checking is set to 1000 milliseconds. I usually try to turn it down just a little bit, but just because maybe it'll help read better on the unit, I don't know. I've been playing with it, trying to see what I could do there. And then after you do that, you can add, you know, whatever sensors you wanted here, as far as and then you could also add elements here as well. You have tons of different options of different options when it comes to that the base station that you can get for this unit. Throw in all sorts of random things. You could go, you know, system status page, but I want to be able to access that with the control button here, and then I'm just gonna drag that there to there, and then I'll be able to change what button that I want to have assigned to that. Let's say add a buzzer, but then I want to make that Oh, another button. I can do that. LE connection. And you have the NFC function as well. And everything is completely configurable. You can put things wherever you want. Not saying that you're going to want to do that, but just as an example. And you can move things around and organize things however you like. When it comes down to it. So it is great for designing, but like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail on this at the moment. I have a couple of projects that I'm working on at the moment with this, so hopefully I can get those up on the Element14 community here shortly. I do know that there's only, like, in the examples here, there's, I think, 18 entries, yeah, and a lot of them have to do with the usage of the actual other board and connector as well. So there's lots here that are based on different boards. If you are just starting off and you're thinking about getting this, play around with the software end of things here and get comfortable with that and come up with something. I will have to say, if you brick your unit with one of your files, you can always use the reset button on the back of the unit to bring it back to life and get a known working file installed onto it with ease. It is great that there is a bunch of demo and test projects available on the site. You can use this for testing as well as for reference. I had to do this a few times when things were not responding as I thought they should have. Well, this is a great start for getting into building IoT devices. It's simple to get things up and running and gives you a great understanding of what needs to be done in your workflow to get things working correctly. You have an option for using multiple IDEs and tons of add-on devices that are compatible with this device. The only downfall I found with this device is the touchscreen was weak to respond at times on the sides of it. It was not so good. There was no dedicated on and off switch to the battery. The battery was only a 240 milliamp hour battery. It was good, but it would die every time I would use it. And every time I wanted to use it, I would have to fully charge it before being able to take it anywhere else for testing. One big thing for me, even after tweaking settings, getting the temperature to do an adequate and correct readings, things had to be played with quite a bit, as the temp from the unit seemed to play a role in the duration it took to drop the temperature. Taking it from an indoor temperature of 20 degrees Celsius to an outdoor temperature of -9 degrees Celsius, it took almost 15 minutes to get the temperature down, and it wasn't producing the correct temperature. So for me, this is great for a reference, but nothing more, as its sensors are not what I was hoping. Sensirion and Microduino and a few other companies that I've used their sensors have produced 100 times better result in reading in real time. If you're wanting something to play with, to get learning more about IoT prototyping, then this is great. But for me, I was hoping it would have been more responsive, as I had many little projects I would have loved to see this play a part in. I did play with the code for quite some time, trying to adjust this, but nothing was producing the results that made me happy. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and thumbs up, down, sideways, whatever you like. Make sure you post any questions or comments below. Would be interested in what others think of this unit as well. Maybe you have a solution to the poor sensor delay. So big thank you to Randall, big thank you to Element14, and also NXP for bringing us these road tests as well as this unit here. So thanks for watching, everyone. You have yourself a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, eh?